That, I've adapted other lyrics for them. So I've done a fair amount of musical writing for them, and they knew. But they probably had to be persuaded. We have to offer it because it's just another expense. Right. It's not really that they don't feel taboo about us redoing J-pop at all. That's not the issue. It's more the budget. It's really about taking the time, and also this is a technical aspect of it. But we have music and effects tracks, and in our music tracks, sometimes the music with the vocal is locked into the production track, and you can't separate the stems to be able to reuse the music. And in this case, we had the music stems and the vocals separately, so I could just sing to the music that was there.
Did you ever do dialogue as well for any of the series writing?
I did a tremendous amount of rewriting on the fly.
Well, yeah, of course. That's just funny. You mentioned how hard it is, converting the songs into English. I tried out as a writer as a side job for Funimation, and they had me working with Yu Yu Hakusho script, and just yeah, thank you. I love that show. Toguro, the sunglasses Toguro was like one of my favorite villains. But the reason I bring it up, we had an episode that they were having me, do the translation for, and as hard as the song was, I'd say that getting puns in English, and there was a whole episode based around that where it's the beginning of the Sensui arc where Kurama is having a taboo word battle with Kota. What was his name? He had the pink outfit.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. The nerd of the little trio. But I mean, yeah, and I just remember being like, how the hell? It's all, and they're showing the katakana and the hiragana. It's like, what do you want on this one? Is it possible to accurately translate that in any way? But, they found a way.
I mean, some things just don't translate. But
no, I mean, the episode still carried weight. The production was well enough on it that, you're still, sensing something ominous, even if it's not entirely verbatim. But, right. Just a little side point.
Okay, so who else got a question? All right, well, there you go.
Okay.
Blue shirt man.
So I was gonna ask a technical question, but that's more fun. So is there any anime that you guys would love to redub, or just that you love to dub just in general?
Macross Frontier.
Yes!
I don't think it'll ever make it here, but because all the weird licensing because of Macross. But I would. Oh my gosh, I would love to do Macross.
This might be selfish because I did get to do Dragon Ball Z, but I would have really liked Broly because at a certain point in high school, I realized that I belonged in a padded room screaming my head off. And it turns out there was a job for that. Thanks, Vic Mignogna.
I kind of wish we'd got Death Note. I was really sad that we lost that because we had some bids on it and looked like there was a really good chance we were going to get that in LA, and we lost it.
I would like there to be, this isn't even for an actual show, I would like someone to do an anime version of Dune. And I would take any part of Dune. I would be Sardaukar 3 that gets shot 5 seconds into the scene. Any part in Dune I would take.
Do you know what a Wright's nightmare that would be?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, especially now that they have all those authorized prequels. I saw them at Comic-Con. I saw them at Comic-Con and raged in my mind. Because I was here, their table was there, and I was just like, so close, and it's so far. Gray Robin, sons of...
Get out the whip.
Dad does not approve of this. Yeah. No, read Dune. Read the original Dunes.
Tadao?
Don't look at me. I do everything with a Scottish accent.
Okay, Hat.
Gentlemen, I don't really need to listen to my program guide.
We added extra people as a bonus.
I'm missing pages though too.
That's like a show game.
That's right.
She said something about heroes. Were you on an episode that was driving the truck and you had the southern accent and you go, you're all mothership, aren't you?
No, actually I'm not, believe it or not. Apparently I inspired that inadvertently because I was goofing off on the set with Masaoka the rest of the... Sorry, sidebar. Heroes, first season, episode 2, technically speaking, Don't Look Back. Hiro Nakamura teleports himself from Japan to New York, finds the dead artist on the floor. Police arrest him, and towards the end of the show, they can't understand a word he's saying, so they bring in the Japanese translating New York detective. Yeah, that was me. Now, for those of you who don't know, I don't speak Japanese. This was the funniest thing to my family in the world.
Japanese very well.
If you look carefully at the episode, you notice there's a notebook that never leaves my hand and is never closed. Didn't help because we had to improv lines afterwards. So,
In Japanese?
in Japanese. Moshi moshi, moshi moshi, Furukawa Soka, your friend says he, I'm just... My parents are on call 24 hours a day. That was the great part. The bad part was the phone was off at that moment. But,
That's right.
I had to call my uncle. Anyway, that answer your question?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think I remember the comedian maybe, the one that, also has an accent, I think he's Korean though.
Yeah, it was probably Henry Cho. He wasn't smart enough to lose his accent.
Behind the hat girl. Yes.
This is just for Wendee, but
Just for Wendee.
Yes,
Another one.
I'm sorry, what I do?
But
It's another question just for you.
every time I hear your voice in something, it never gets old. Like a lot of times.
Wow.
I was
you'll hear, like,
scared.
the same voice actor, and you're like, oh, this
Yeah,
person
starting with
again.
Seitz.
But it's like you could be like the main character or like some side character. Like I was playing Persona 4, and you were the creepy nurse. Yeah.
Thank God for
Yeah. I was like, damn, girl.
I'm gonna watch that now, just for creepy nurse.
Yeah,
She was good.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna touch you now.
I can't repeat it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to hear you in anything, and you don't get old sounding.
God, thank you so much. I have been getting some awful links to some really negative comments lately, and everybody says, yeah, don't read that, don't look at it, but you can't help but let a part of it, bruise you. So it's very generous. Thank you so much, because something I don't. Oh, thank you. The thing I don't think people really understand, like, there's this one guy who's just on a campaign, just hating on me so bad, it's so intense, and he says, and then there's Wendee Lee taking another voice actor's role, and he's done like 4 reviews saying that about me, and I know, see, all actors understand.
As if
Wendee's got a
voice
posse,
actor.
like,
It's
trying to
like-
support this guy.
Taking another person's role, I am trying to make a living. It's
Taking
like,
food out of the mouths of other voice actors!
It's just poutine.
honestly, and it's like, it's a ludicrous statement, to be punished or criticized
For doing well,
succeeding at something that you've worked very, very hard at. To this day, I always am concerned what my next job will be. I have no free ride whatsoever. And just commenting on that is just so supportive and so kind of you. And yeah, you know my inner freak. She's in that game.
We have to wrap it up. We got 5 minutes, so I'm going to do one final thing. By the way, if you want to get a thick skin, Wendee, you should do what I do and have a YouTube show.
That's cool.
YouTube commenters are...
Because the YouTube commenters are the worst people on the planet.
Wow.
I mean, everyone, and this is the nice comments I get. You look like a fag. You're dumb. You're a dumbass. You're stupid. You're a fag. I mean, just all over again.
Language, young man.
That's
That's the YouTube.
and those are the nice comments. Okay? So I got a thick skin now. All right, so one of the description things of this panel says talking about getting into the industry, and we haven't really talked about that too much, except that kind of it's going down right now a little bit. So we got like 12 minutes left, so I want to get everybody's thoughts on that. Since I'm new, I'll just say, I have a different perspective. I'm trying to get in right now, and it's very hard.